Hey, I'm Jason Klass here at the 2019 Tenkara Summit, and with the owner and founder of Tenkara USA, Daniel Galhardo, who just made a big announcement, a new product launch. Actually, it's kind of a reissue of a product they used to have. It's the Ebisu. Now, I happen to have one of the original Ebisus. It's a 5.5 action rod, and on mine, it's got a short wooden handle. It's actually pine, and it's a great rod for anyone who loves a softer action, or anyone who has to fish in close and doesn't need a lot of line off the tip of the rod to load the rod. So this rod actually developed quite a cult following. A lot of people were kind of disappointed when it went away. So can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to bring this rod back to life?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year, Tenkara USA, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. And it was over a year ago, like almost 2 years ago now, we started talking about we got to do something special for our 10th anniversary. And about a year and a half ago, I was like, okay, a lot of people have been asking for the Ebisu. It's a rod that a lot of people miss. It's a softer style rod. So in the beginning, when we launched Tenkara USA, we tried to kind of offer different action rods, and it became kind of complicated. So we eliminated the Ebisu just to have most of our rods be what we call 6'4", mid-flex kind of rod. But a lot of people have been missing a softer rod, myself included. I like softer rods. The Ito is probably our softest besides the Ebisu now. And we decided to do, first we're going to do a limited edition run, our 10-year anniversary celebration rod. So it kind of marks, the years that we've been around so far. With the Ebisu, originally we had a wooden handle, as Jason mentioned. So we decided to kind of do a little different style handle material. Foam, which I've become a very big fan of. I used to be a little anti-foam, if you will, but I like the feel of it, especially because we're not trying to cast hundreds of feet of line anyways. It's a very good material. It's actually a very firm foam that we found. It follows the line a little bit of the honey, which we released a couple years ago in terms of design elements. The honey being white and it's got the gray kind of foam. So that's what we did with that. So we got the original Ebisu, which is a softer rod, and we kind of tweaked a few little components. The action is pretty much identical. Just all the stuff that we've learned in the last 10 years, we try to incorporate into the rod. And yeah, we're going to be selling this rod through the end of the year as a limited edition rod until it sells out. And it's going to retail for $175 when it comes out, and you'll be online within a couple of weeks here.
And since we were talking about the handle a little bit, one thing I mentioned earlier that the original handle was a very, very short pine handle. Yeah. And I noticed on this rod it's quite a bit longer. Yeah. And that it kind of changes the fulcrum point. So on the original one, really, the handle ended right about where my fingertip is. Yeah. And so that changes the fulcrum point, and it did make the rod feel back then a little bit tip heavy. But now with the longer handle, it seems to me that the fulcrum point is going to shift up a little bit and maybe take a little bit of that weight off the tip. Was that an intentional design?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something we've learned. We played with handle designs a few times over the years. Like we had the Amago, which had like a bulbous handle for a little while. And we really realized that the handle is really important in terms of how heavy the rod feels. Not so much because we're trying to balance it, but just the ergonomics of it and being able to move your hands up. So anytime you have a Tenkara rod in your hand, we do recommend holding at the very end. But if you hold it a little higher, it's going to feel way lighter. And this rod gives you a chance to do that, where the shorter handle just never gave you a great chance to do that. So that was definitely an intentional thing.
Well, I'm really excited about this. I know there's going to be a lot of people, kind of the more old school Tenkara guys, who are going to be really excited to see this rod come back. And from what I can tell, it looks like it's everything everyone loved about the Ebisu, kind of taken to the next level. So really excited about it. Check out the Tenkara USA Ebisu on the TenkaraUSA.com website.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks everyone. Daniel.